He's like, who am I standing next to?
Yeah.
I'm so uncomfortable. Fist bump. Yeah, it's just that, like, this man is in charge of making national decisions right now. We're on, like, maybe the cups of World War III, inflation's raging, our economy's tumbling, Saudi Arabia just didn't renew the contract to continue using the petrodollar. Um, but we have this man who seems to be captivated by bright lights and moving objects.
It's
Yeah,
like that
kind of like
Hillary,
the Hillary
that
video with the
Clinton
balloons.
gif. Yeah. The bird.
The NoSpoon podcast, one of the best podcasts, frankly, big league.
All right, what's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us. This is the NoSpoon podcast. With me, as always, John. How you doing tonight?
Doing well. How about yourself, my man?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to get into it. We have some pretty funny videos to get into and some other good stuff. So let's get right into it.
All right. Yeah, some of the topics we wanted to cover tonight was the new Biden ad targeting the Trump campaign and the Trump campaign's response to the ad. CNN data guru has a little bit of a mind explosion when it comes to the younger black vote. Two instances of Biden having brain malfunctions, and then Karine Jean-Pierre's response to us sharing the videos of his brain just basically malfunctioning. So get right into it. I'll start with the Biden video, the new campaign video here.
In the courtroom, we see Donald Trump for who he is. He's been convicted of 34 felonies, found liable for sexual assault, and he committed financial fraud. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's been working, lowering healthcare costs and making big corporations pay their fair share. This election is between a convicted criminal who's only out for himself and a president who's fighting for your family.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this.
In the court.
Yeah, so that's Joe Biden, and he approves that message.
Yeah, I want to know how many takes that was. Just that last line, though. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Yeah, 100%. I think they just paid someone. What's that website you can go on and pay people to do like cameos for you?
Right. Yeah.
They just were like, we need someone that sounds like Biden to do some ads real quick. We can't get it done.
You think they got that? You think they have somebody like a backup Biden?
Oh.
You know, like, because there's this other video where he's got this mask, or like people are saying he's got a mask on because his chin is a different color or whatever.
Yeah, and it like
sometimes
folds up weird.
Sometimes he speaks and he like makes some sense. I don't agree with what he says, but he like actually is comprehensible, and then sometimes it's bad. Like, it's bad.
I think Tim Pool had a video on it of him looking like two different people in the same day. It's super fascinating. But yeah, one of the things I kind of want to point out about this campaign video is it truly kind of makes it clear and obvious to everyone that that seems to be what this whole trial was about the election, and that it has nothing to actually do with the underlying crimes that were committed, but it seems to really necessarily just be election interference.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of knew that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that, everybody sees what's going on, and that's why Trump's poll numbers are the way they are.
Yeah, 100%. And then speaking of that, we'll get the Trump campaign's response to this. They said with their latest ad, Joe Biden and his campaign essentially admitted that the sham Biden trials are about election interference. Voters see through the Democrats' weaponization of the justice system against President Trump. In fact, according to poll data outlined by pollster Tony Fabrizio, voters in our key target states have already made up their minds on this trial. Most voters believe this case is politically motivated. After Biden's failing campaign spent tens of millions of dollars in media buys, he continues to plummet in the polls. Don't expect that to change with ads like this. I think that summarizes it up pretty well. We all kind of knew that before the campaign, before the trial, and throughout the trial it became extremely evident, but them having a campaign video, like, going over the fact that this is going on makes it seem like
And that's the first ad that I have seen, like, as far as Biden's ads go. I don't know if that is for this campaign season, but this is the first one I've seen. So they go right to it.
Yeah.
So it's like the first thing they bring out. They're like, yeah, well, he's a felon.
Yeah,
he's a felon. We made
convicted
him
of 34 felonies.
We changed the laws and the time frame for when we could convict him, and he's a felon now.
Yeah.
And it's not working. Like nobody cares.
Speaking of not working, I want to take it over to about halfway through that CNN data analyst. He just got done talking about the age 50 voters. So I'm gonna start it.
Age of 50. Holy cow, folks! Holy cow! Look at this. Joe Biden was up by 80 points among this group back at this point in 2020. Look at where that margin has careened down towards. It's now just, get this, 37 points. That lead has dropped by more than half, Mr. Berman. I just never seen anything like this. I'm like speechless, because you always look at history and you go, okay, this is a historic moment. If this polling is anywhere near correct, we are looking at a historic moment right now where black voters under the age of 50, which have historically been such a big part of the Democratic coalition, are leaving.
Coalition. Democratic coalition, they call it.
Right.
Yeah,
Coalition.
that's like from 80 to 30 some point lead there with the black under 50 vote. That's like an insane swing.
Right. Yeah. It's funny how animated that guy was too. Like he was pretty worried.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, you can clearly tell because
this is incredible.
Yeah.
This is mind blowing, guys.
Well, we had seen that previous one of the same guy doing the data analytics on it, and like he didn't seem that worried. But that was from what, May? Like that was from a couple months ago.
Like May 17th.
Yeah. So now that we're like another month closer to the election, it's getting even worse. They're like, oh man.
He thought it was going to change. Yeah, they thought that like convicting him was going to change it, and that's silly.
Yeah. Especially if you actually watched any of the testimony, like it was just silly.
Most of us don't think the 2020 election was fair.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, have you seen all this stuff coming out about Georgia and Michigan and stuff? Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, there were like almost 500,000 ballots that didn't have images.
And then the one place had like they had on their list that there were 3 tabulators, but 2 of them were like using the same UPC code or like identifying codes.
Yeah.
So they just had a mysterious 3rd tabulator that.
Convenient.
Yeah, convenient. But moving on, we want to get into some of the Biden phone freezes, because I mean he's pulling a Mitch McConnell here, and just like the blue screen of computers is hitting him hard here. So I'll start this. It's the one with him and the vice president and her husband. And I don't believe this one has any volume that I need to play, so we'll just kind of watch him absolutely freeze in place. Just stuck. He's like, who am I standing next to? I'm so uncomfortable. Fist bump. Yeah, it's just like this man is in charge of making national decisions right now. We're on like maybe the cups of World War III, inflation's raging, our economy's tumbling, Saudi Arabia just didn't renew the contract to continue using the petrodollar. But we have this man who seems to be captivated by bright lights and moving objects. Yeah,
like that
kind of like the Hillary video with the balloons.
Yeah. The bird.
Yeah, but the second one here, I'm not 1,000. Okay, so New York Post video. Biden appears to freeze up. Has to be let off stage by Obama at Megabucks LA fundraiser. So everything seems normal for just a minute, like in the other video. And he just freezes, and then Obama kind of like grabs his arm and leads him off stage. And like the D-Day thing, like, there's just so many instances of this, and then I want to show you KGP's reaction to these, and then I just kind of we'll talk about our overall take on the videos and what she says about them.
Secondly, there seems to be a sort of rash of videos that have been edited to make the president appear especially frail or mentally confused. I'm wondering if the White House is especially worried about the fact that this appears to be a pattern that we're seeing more often.
Yeah, and I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what
cheap
they are.
fakes.
They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad
It's not even what they're called.
And some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right-wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation, and so we see this,
like,
and this is
what?
something coming from your part of the world.
So she's basically calling them cheap fakes, and I'm not 1,000% certain if she means to be calling them cheap fakes or if she's talking about
Trying to say
deep
fakes, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, because they're videos of Biden just doing stuff, and he's freezing. So I don't think people are going out of their way to.
Right. They always like complain and say, "Oh, the videos are edited," and I mean that's true. Like we don't play an entire 15-minute speech or something for a gaffe that is what the subject matter is. So, and so some people want to debate whether there was a chair or not at the D-Day thing, and it's like it's irrelevant. The guy is clearly like lost his marbles. Like he looks like he's high on drugs all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw he was doing like the interview with the TikTok people, like he's really trying to get the Gen Z crowd. But the one TikTok guy was interviewing him and was kept pestering him about the Israel-Palestine war, and he just kind of lost it a little bit. Said he didn't trust him as far as he could throw his phone across the room or something like that. Yeah, so he's getting a little testy, and I don't necessarily know whether that's like the mental decline like kicking in, or if it's maybe they've got him on so many uppers that he's just a little testy.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like the election coming up, but it seems like it's snowballing and getting worse.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I don't think that So I think the first debate is going to be telling. I don't think he makes it much longer past that first debate because I think it's going to go horribly wrong.
They're having CNN's doing that, right?
Yeah, but they asked to sit during the debate, which is such a terrible sign right off the jump. So I'm like 99% positive that this is just going to go absolutely terrible. But the thing that worries me about that a little bit is it's going to seem like a Biden win a little bit if he just doesn't A, crap his pants, B, fall asleep. Like, if he stays,
the expectations are pretty low
Yeah.
for him, I think.
Yep. Yeah, so that makes me a little worried because just like him surviving the debate, I feel like if he walks out on his own power, still breathing at the end of it, like everyone's gonna be like, "No, he did fine."
If he doesn't need Obama to come up on stage and walk him off, that'll be a win for him. So
yeah, so I find it fascinating, but yeah, the fact that they're calling these cheap fakes when it's literally just videos of Biden just not doing anything, it's just funny.
Yeah, what even is that? A cheap fake? That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, at first I thought Real Clear Politics here was using some really bad AI.
Right. Like you meant, clearly you must have meant an AI deepfake.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But yeah, they're just so dumb they don't know what
they're saying cheap fakes, and then they don't explain what's wrong, what's misleading about them.
But yeah, that's really all I've got for tonight. So, thanks for coming in again with me, Dewey.
Yeah, that was a good episode. Those were some good videos. And, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And we'll talk to you guys next time.